For a brand new Japanese car, the £69,000 470 horsepower Lexus GS F has a surprisingly old-fashioned outlook on life. Beneath its dramatically styled new bonnet, it features a traditional old thumper of a 5-litre V8 engine. Its chassis may have been stiffened and compared with that of the standard GS, but it's still a front-engined, rear-drive thunder saloon at heart. And it still mauls the scales at 1,865 kilograms before so much as any of its 4 seats have been occupied. And yet for a certain type of customer, there's nothing quite like the new Lexus GS F. Indeed, it will appeal to the 100 or so people that Lexus is hoping will buy one in the UK next year because of its relative simplicity. Question is though, is it any good? Or is the GS F a dinosaur that deserves no place in the modern era?
So the key question then is, does the GS F deliver on the road, even though it doesn't have quite as much going for it on paper as its rivals from BMW and Mercedes et al? Well, in light of the RCF, which was car's smaller cousin, you do kind of fear slightly for the GS F because it's fundamentally got the same 5-litre V8 engine under the bonnet, and so you kind of think, is this thing going to really struggle against an M5, etc.? But actually, I think the GS F drives quite a bit nicer than the RCF. There's a whole bunch of reasons why. Number one is that the chassis is quite different from the RCF's. It's a fair bit stiffer. It's just evolved that much more during the build process, the engineering process. And on the road, the GS F just feels that much sharper than the RCF. It actually feels like a proper sports saloon. Lexus say 80% sports saloon, 20% luxury saloon. And for once, I think they're about right with that claim. It's got a lovely, fluid, natural feel to the way it goes down the road, the GS F. You don't have to drive it particularly fast to appreciate its engineering, its quality, how nice the ride comfort is. But if you flick it across into drive, dial up the drive program into either sport, well, you can go from eco to normal to sport plus. And when you do that, the steering changes, the throttle response changes, the gear changes themselves get faster and more urgent. The exhaust noise gets a bit louder, a bit fruitier. And all through those modes, the GS F just gets more aggressive in its responses. And when you put it in the top one, which is Sport Plus and manual, it goes really well. And it makes some absolutely delicious noises. Let's be honest though, no way is the GS F anywhere near as quick as an M5 or even an M3, I don't think. But it kind of doesn't matter because it has this lovely old-fashioned feel to it in the way it goes down the road, in the way it sounds. No turbochargers or anything like that, so lovely response to the throttle. Although you do have to rev it quite hard to get it to go properly. For a 5-litre V8, it's got a slightly weird lack of torque. So what you have to do is get it revving above 5,000 and really mash the pedal to the carpet. But if you do that, the rewards are rich. You've got to admire Lexus for making a car like this, rather than just going the standard route nowadays, which is to bolt a turbocharger on, make the emissions better, make the economy better, and then also make an apology about the fact that it doesn't sound very good. They haven't done that, and the GS F is rather a lovely car because of it.
The GS F's interior comes with just about everything you could wish for in a sports saloon, and it's just a very lovely place in which to find yourself. But its crowning glory is its new instrument display, which can be switched between 4 different designs to reflect which driving mode you've selected: Eco, Normal, Sport or Sport Plus.
The gearbox in the GS F is an 8-speed auto. It's not a dual clutch, it's a standard torque converter auto, but it's got very crisp software in it, and if you put it in its most aggressive mode, it almost feels like a dual clutch. The upshifts and the downshifts are pretty much bang on it. It's a good gearbox. They amplify the sound ever so slightly through the speakers. Lexus say they don't create a new sound through the speakers, they just amplify what's naturally going on underneath the bonnet. But what they manage to do is just filter away a bit of the stuff that you don't want, a bit of the thrash that you don't want, so that you just get this lovely, pure sounding V8 noise, which right up at the red line does sound rather lovely, you have to admit. There just aren't many cars that sound like that nowadays. No M3, no M5 sounds like that today.
The GS F might not be at the cutting edge when it comes to emissions, economy or even performance, but its old-fashioned personality all but makes up for whatever deficiencies it may suffer from on paper. No, it's not the last word in current high-performance motoring, but it sounds fantastic, and it's also one of the more charming cars that exists at this level. Does it deserve its place in our ever more complicated world of motoring? Absolutely it does, and it'll be a sad day indeed were that no longer to be the case. Click on the video windows to watch a drag race between a pair of BMW M3s and an Audi RS5, or watch a track battle between the Mercedes C63 AMG Estate and an Audi RS4. And click on our logo to subscribe to our channel.